Yeah, so good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are connecting from. I am excited to be here today. This is the fifth day, the fifth week of our Niger Data Platform 10 weeks marathon event. And today, I have somebody so special to us on the platform today. For the next 10-15 minutes, we are lucky to have somebody dear to us, a blessing to us in Africa. So her name is Lebogang Madise. So he's an Azure developer engagement lead at Microsoft based in South Africa. So Lebogang has passion for advancing technology for the benefit of humanity. So join me as I welcome Nibogan to the podium for our platform. Nibogan, you are powerfully welcome. Good afternoon. How are you today?
Good afternoon, Brian Ayodeji. I'm good, thank you.
Great.
And I'm
So,
really humbled to be included as part of the Niger Data Platform 22.
thank you very much. So we are all expecting so much from today's event. So you have the floor. Over to you.
Thank you, Brother Deji. So I took a deep interest in data from late last year, but I started getting more and more intentional about learning about data as well as the opportunities that are available around that. So, just to give a little bit of background, my background is in software development. So, I used to create apps for a living, but I have to be honest. I've noticed that most of the meetup groups either have they separate themselves into silos. So you've got some data groups, you've got some developer groups, but it's very rare to actually see those two audiences together in one session. And the reason why I bring this up is because now that I've started attending data meetup groups, I'm realizing some of the common software issues being solved in a data approach, which sometimes could be a better approach. So, anyone who's listening, irrespective of their profession or level of experience, I believe data is really the most critical and important architectural consideration for any solution, on any software solution. So whether you intend on building an app or website, the way you think about data is very, very important. I'd also like to quote from the words that were shared by Sacha in the last Build event, where he shared that we are moving to a world where every app will be intelligent and must have the ability to adapt in real time. And analytics will become a critical part of the app experience. So if you're a developer and you want to make sure that the app or the website that you are in developing does have some form of an intelligence in it and adapts in real time, the way your data is structured on the back end will influence how fast it will influence the performance of your app. So I've also started learning about data lakes as well as the importance of having a data lake present. Normally a typical software developer would think, oh, all I need is a database, and if I need to interact with it, I'll just query it directly. But there are actually a lot of dangers in that, in allowing people to query the database directly. But having a data lake will ensure that people can form analytics if they want to based on their data. It will also be in a logical format in which it can be consumed without it impacting the app itself, as in terms of latency. So one of the things that I'm using as a starting point is Microsoft certifications. So I'm going to share how I'm mapping my journey, and hopefully anyone who's out there looking to start their certification journey can possibly take a similar approach. Okay, so I'm going to first start by giving an overview of the certifications that are available, and then I will jump straight into the Azure training journey for data and AI professionals. Okay. Okay, so the certifications world can be a little bit overwhelming to someone who doesn't know. I've heard a lot of people say, hey, every day on LinkedIn, someone is announcing that they are certified with a specific certification. So I just wanted to give you a snapshot of what that looks like. So at the earliest pre-fundamentals, you have certifications across Microsoft Word, Excel, as well as one that is targeting educators to use technology in the classroom, known as the Microsoft Certified Educator. And then you have what is known as the fundamentals, and those span across three solution areas: Azure, which is the the world's computer or the cloud platform that powers a lot of the software development solutions. And it has three fundamental certifications that one can pursue. The Azure Fundamentals gives you an overview of Azure so that you can have the correct understanding with building and scaling your solutions on the cloud. And then you have the Azure Data Fundamentals that takes that doesn't, it doesn't teach you how to write, let's say, SQL script. Instead, what it's doing is that it's saying, hey, as a data professional, let's take your skills to the next level by teaching by teaching you how to develop solutions on the cloud. So it's taking your working knowledge of everyday data that you normally have on premise and helping you to adapt that to the cloud so that you can scale your solutions. And then you have the Azure AI fundamentals that also does an introductory across artificial intelligence as well as machine learning. And then you have other fundamentals that span across modern work as well as business applications. Now, if you are a data professional, you are likely going to go beyond the fundamentals and then start looking at certifications such as the Azure Data Scientist certification, or the Azure Data Engineer certification, or the Azure Database Administrator certification. There's also one other prominent data career that falls inside of the business applications area. And there you would be looking at certifications such as that of the data analyst, or you can also look into becoming a Power Platform developer. But over here, it's taking a look at functional roles. So you have to ask yourself, hey, I have a passion for data, but do I want to apply that in the retail industry or in the finance industry or in the manufacturing or supply chain industry? If that's the case, then you would be looking at growing your skills in this solution area. However, if you're a data professional and you are looking to help businesses or people in general scale their solutions from a back end perspective, then you would be looking at either the Azure Data Administrator certification or the Azure Data Engineer certification. And if you have a passion for statistics as well as mathematics and enjoy working with large data sets, then the Azure Data Scientist learning path would be the one that is suitable for you. Okay, so I'm quickly going to jump straight to the the actual view of the journey of the data and AI professional. So this is what it looks like. We recommend that you first master the basics, get the intro of working in the cloud, as I've touched on, and then map your journey. So if you start with managing relational cloud and hybrid databases. As I said, the Azure Database Administrator is for you. And the type of career choices that you would have would be careers like being a database administrator, and you can grow your role by going a step further and being a data engineer. So one thing I want to highlight using this slide is the distinct career paths that the database administrator takes you as compared to the AI engineer route. So so now that you've got so the database administrator on its own is also a role. So you can be employed as that. However, if you are already in this role and are looking to grow, you can then further develop your skills by getting the Azure Data Engineer route. So this role has changed over the years. Now we are seeing data engineers being more critical in having skills such as code repository and being able to work with Git, you know. So all your data lakes that you create, as well as how you interact with code, will now be provisioned with a code repository, and it can be GitHub or any other code repository provider. So this role has changed. It's really different from what it was 5 years ago, and I would recommend you to look at the resources that are available on Microsoft Learn. For the AI engineers, so you can begin your journey here. It shows you how to model data using statistical and mathematical concepts, as well as machine learning concepts in the cloud. And then you can then further your knowledge by learning how to build and train, as well as deploy machine learning models, and becoming certified as a Azure data scientist. So so over here, this data analyst one is really independent of these two. So it lives inside of the business application solution area that I showed you previously. So it lives over here. And there are many ways. So you can wear both hats, the Azure one as well as the Power Platform one. So as a data analyst, there'll be multiple ways in which you'll be interacting with data and really mining the value, as well as the business opportunities that could come as a result of the data that your customer has. So the opportunities are endless. I I wanna okay, I wanna also share that in your journey, when you migrating data to the cloud, one of the courses, the DP 050T00, it touches on migrating SQL workloads to Azure. And then you have another complementing learning path that touches on migrating NoSQL workloads to Azure Cosmos DB. And then if you're one that loves working with open source technologies, you do also have an opportunity to learn about migrating open source data workloads to Azure. So so do have a look at these and map your your journey accordingly. One other thing I also wanted to share is since we just building on the premise of my opening around analytics becoming a critical part of the data the app experience, it begs me to say that um, these two professionals shouldn't work in silo. Instead, they should be in collaboration together as a team. And the way the AI engineer intends to use the data will also influence, either the data lake that the database administrator would develop, or the way in which they would structure their database tables, ensuring that they are easy to be understood and manipulated by the AI engineer or data scientist. Um, okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for now. Brother Deji, I see time flies. Like the minute I open my mouth, it feels like it was just 2 minutes ago. But I really wanted to share, as parting words for people to join communities near them. Communities like the Niger Data community, and they can also find more communities on meetup.com by looking under the Azure Data Tech groups. And that way they can grow their skills. So certification is only the first step. The real growth happens when you start using your skills, when you start learning and building on what you are certified on. So I really, really encourage them to not just watch the Niger Data Platform 22 conference, but instead go back and play around with the resources that they are learning from all the speakers. Thank you. Are you on mute?
Thank you very much, Livo. This is amazing. You've touched on several things: the data lake, Azure training for data and AI, training and certification pathway that you've shown to us, the Azure training journey for data and AI. So, thank you very much. And I would like to use this opportunity to announce to us that after our section today, we're going to be sharing a challenge with us. Data and AI guys, get ready. So we need to learn, we need to upskill, we need to get into business. So I'm going to share the link with us. So Libo has made that available. We must learn. We like it or yes. So thank you very much, Libo, for having you on this call. So we'll definitely get back because the time is so short. I know you still have lots to share with us, but we sincerely appreciate you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.